Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Star Trek reveals Romulans got their revenge for Nemesis. A grim joke about the Romulans in Star Trek. Lower Decks hints that the Romulans have taken revenge for what Shinzen did in Star Trek, Nemesis. A grim joke in Star Trek. Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 2 hints that the Romulans have taken revenge on the Romulans for what Shinzen, Tom Hardy, did in Star Trek, Nemesis. Star Trek, Lower Decks Season 4 kicks off with big changes for the crew of the U.S. Cerritos, as ensigns Brad Boimler, Jack Quaid, Beckett Mariner, Tawny Newsome, Devane Attendee, Noel Wells, Sam Rutherford, Eugene Cordero, and Tilin Gabriel Ruiz were all promoted to lieutenant junior grade. Meanwhile, an unknown new threat is wiping out lower-decker starships and could be on a collision course with the U.S. Cerritos. Star Trek, Nemesis was the fourth and marked the end of the Star Trek, The Next Generation movies. The plot of Nemesis revolved around Shinzen, a clone of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, who sought to destroy the United Federation of Planets. Shinzen was created by Romulans, who banished him to Remus, where the clone was forced to toil in the dilithium mines along with the Romulans. But the Romulans rallied behind Shinzen and backed him in a military coup where they assassinated the Praetor and the Romulan Senate. However, Shinzen's reign as Praetor was brief, and he was destroyed by his own Theleron weapon in a battle with Picard and the U.S. Enterprise E. Lower Decks shows Romulans have gotten revenge on the Romulans after Star Trek, Nemesis. Star Trek, Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 2, I Have No Bones Yet I Must Flee, begins on a Romulan warbird, where two lower deckers limit cleanup duty on a Romulan, who their superior officers tortured because Romulans leave behind the biggest mess. As the Romulans dump the Romulan's corpse and discuss each other's plan to assassinate Sub-Commander Vrek, they are called to the bridge when a mysterious starship intercepts their warbird. Meanwhile, Sub-Commander Vrek is irritated at the blood stain on his uniform because Romulan juice never comes out. Lower Decks gallows humor toward the Romulan the Romulans tortured and killed hints at the bigger picture that after the events of Star Trek, Nemesis, the Romulans took revenge on the Romulans for Shinzen usurping their government. The death of Shinzen and the destruction of his fearsome flagship the Scimitar no doubt left the Romulans vulnerable. It makes sense that the Romulans capitalized, installed a new Praetor, and exacted brutal revenge on the Romulans. This tracks with how the Romulans have not factored into the events of the late 24th century Alpha Quadrant, after following Shinzen on his foolhardy and failed scheme in Star Trek, Nemesis. What happened to the Romulans after Star Trek, Nemesis? The Romulans haven't been seen since Star Trek, Nemesis, and there have only been two mentions of the Nosferatu-like race. In Star Trek, Lower Decks Season 1 episode, Veritas, a Romulan guard on Romulus said, "Romulans are the worst." Since it had only been about a year since Star Trek, Nemesis, the hatred of what Shinzen and the Romulans did on Romulans is still fresh. In Star Trek, Picard Season 3, Admiral Jean-Luc Picard told a story of two Romulans who intercepted the U.S. Enterprise E in the Donetra sector. This occurred in 2381, just 2 years after Star Trek, Nemesis. Thanks for watching.